Okay. Yeah, I've got a lovely little Hitchcock sort of like story for you, and it's a classic one.
Do you
So
need me to do the voice
you could
badly?
if you wanted to, but
Okay,
it was
what's
from
my line?
uh well, it was a story that I heard from I'm gonna get the pronunciation terrible, so correct me on this, but it's Peter Bogdanovich.
Peter Bogdanovich. That's not fair.
Yeah.
You got one letter wrong. It was a V, a
Okay.
D. You said a V where it should have been a D, but
Okay,
otherwise it was
but yeah,
perfect.
so how do you pronounce it again?
Bogdanovich.
Bogdanovich, that's it. That's it.
Bogdanovich. Yeah, yeah.
Bogdanovich. So basically,
I
yeah,
mean,
Bogdanovich.
should we say who? Should we explain who Peter Bogdanovich is? Because
You
you've probably
can
a
do,
bit
yeah.
forgotten.
That's it, yeah.
He was a
So
film director in the 70s. One of the
exactly,
movie
yeah.
brats. Did
Hmm.
Last Picture Show. What's Up, Doc? Was it What's Up, Doc? I think.
Yeah,
Stuff like that. And he was like, he did Paper Moon. I think
yeah.
he was. And he was one of those. He's one of these young thrusting young buck film directors, but he was like pals with all the old school guys. He used to interview Hitchcock
Exactly.
and Orson Welles. Did a really good Hitchcock impression, as I recall.
Oh, he did. It was very
Better than
good. But
mine,
I,
at
I
least.
was listening to him because he was on a kind of making of Rear Window that I was watching, and
I'm not surprised. Yeah.
exactly, and it was right towards the end of this, and he goes, "Yeah, I got to say this," and it's so brilliant. So he was actually, so this is a life story. This actually happened to him. So they were having drinks with a couple of Universal executives and stuff, and then sort of heading out to have a meeting. So been having a few drinks in the apartment before going. So they get into the well, we'll keep this for the American audience. So they got into the elevator, and
Oh, the lift.
yeah, the lift. Got
The
into the
lift.
lift at the 24th floor, and came all the way down. Total silence, nobody talking in the lift. So there's movie Gazette, Hitchcock, and Pete. Also, complete silence. Get to floor 18. Doors open. Three people get them, and they're all dressed for dinner. Okay, so all polite society. And then Hitchcock turns to Pete and goes, how did you know? It was terrible. It was horrible. There was blood everywhere. Okay, there's blood coming out of his nose, blood coming out of his ears. It was horrible. And so he carries on with this, and then he gets gets down to I think about the 15th floor, and then again doors open, more people gets, and he goes on and gets even more gory. And he's like, oh god, there's blood all over, it's blood all his shirt, and it's
One,
the head
one,
blood.
one, one of his kidneys was hanging out of
It
his
was
bum.
awful. It was
Yeah.
awful, and he carried
Yeah.
on like this. And Pete's like, what the hell
That's
happened?
just that's just Leytonstone on a Friday night.
And
Sorry, go on.
so yeah, so he carries on with this horrible gore and stuff that he's talking, and everybody's getting, because of course he's really well known. Everybody knows what
Yeah,
Hitchcock looks
yeah.
like, and this is
He's
like
a big star.
this is 1964 when
Yeah.
this happens. So, and of course gets down to the left, and then Pete goes, "What happened?" And he goes, "Oh," and he turned around. Did you know what he said to me? And the doors let open, and he just shuts up. He doesn't say anything. He just walks out into the lobby and leaves all these people with the jaw hanging out. And, and then they walk across the lobby, and Pete goes, "What was that about? What was that?" And you go, "Oh, that's just my elevator story. I just do it for my own entertainment."
You see, remember what I said earlier on about how you don't need dialogue?
Mm, exactly.
He was an imp. Hitchcock was an imp. He was other
Yeah.
things too, which, as I say, we may talk about in future
Yeah.
episodes, because
So
I'm sure
sorry
some
about my
people will be.
impression there, but yeah, I can't
It,
do
it,
impressions.
it, it wasn't any worse than mine. The only reason I could do the only way in which I can do a slightly better Hitchcock impression than you is I'm the more closer to the right shape. Otherwise, no.